In this video, we're going to perform a standard deployment of Burp Suite Enterprise using the installer. You can use the installer for both on-premise and cloud-hosted machines. If you're using cloud-hosted machines, we recommend running the installer on each machine rather than creating an image with Burp Suite Enterprise pre-installed. There are separate instructions if you want to deploy to Kubernetes via a Helm chart. Before installing Burp Suite Enterprise Edition, please make sure you've gone through step 1 to prepare for the installation so you have a good understanding of your options. We recommend starting out on a machine with at least 8 CPU cores and 24 gigs of RAM. The first step is to download the installer for Burp Suite Enterprise. You can follow the link in this guide to open the download page for the latest stable release or go straight to the releases page. Once downloaded, unzip and run the installer. When you click Next, you can choose the destination directory where Enterprise itself will be installed. In this case, I'm going to stick with the suggested default directory, but you can change this. When we click Next, we will be asked to specify your installation options and the components you want to install on your machine. If you want to run everything, so the Enterprise server, web server, and scanning machines, all on the same machine, make sure that both running the Enterprise server and web server and running scans boxes are selected. If you're intending to run scans on a separate machine, uncheck the running scans box. In the next step, you can specify a logs directory. Again, we're going to keep the defaults. Clicking Next again allows you to specify the directory that will be used for application data. The next step is not required on all operating systems. It will ask us to specify the user that will be used to run processes. If the user does not exist, it will be created. We then move on to choosing the type of database to use. If you opt for an external database, this will need to be configured as per the Setting Up External Database instructions. In this case, we're going to use the embedded database. Click Next to choose a port to use for the web server. The port must be available for use on the machine that you want to install Enterprise and the web server on, and the operating system must be allowed to bind to it. On Linux and macOS, low-privileged users are unable to bind to low port numbers. If you're using the embedded database, you can click Next to specify the location for database backups. And finally, click Next to install the application. Once the installation has finished and the services have started, you will need to perform some additional configuration within the application itself. You can access the configuration page by browsing to localhost on the port you specified during installation. If you chose the embedded database during installation, the connection will use HTTP, which can be changed later. If you chose an external database, it will use HTTPS.